What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back again for some more rankings. We're going over the running backs of the 2021 NFL draft class this time. First and foremost, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Ranking, or I'll have more rankings, just trying to pump them out daily. I'm currently just trying to go through at least a large majority of guys right now. Try to rank them appropriately. So again, my rankings right now, they're not going to be that large, just because I just haven't got to everybody, and I only try to rank the guys I really feel confident about. So if there's a guy that you think I missed, go ahead, leave them in the comment section below and we could talk about it. Also, schedules, they come out tonight, so I'm going to begin work once I find out what the schedules are on team previews, season previews for next season. I do want to start getting some college content out there, like maybe a top 25, something in my opinion. So eventually we'll get there. We got enough time, so hang with me. Madden content maybe on the way, still considering that, because boy, I hate how they have franchise mode set up. So it's just kind of hard to get myself to sit down and play Madden nowadays. So maybe we'll get there. I might get no lie, part of me, I want to go invest in a into like a 360 or a PS3 and grab NCAA 14, because I just missed the game that much. It's been so long. But enough of that. Let's go ahead, we'll dive in. We're doing only top 10s right now. A few names I want to mention: Jatavius, whatever, Whitlow, the former Auburn running back. He's still in the transfer portal, so not on the rankings here. And just a few names I want to highlight that didn't make the list. Kylan Hill, I just want to see him play better against, just basically a little more consistency against better competition. Amari Jones out of Tulane, guy I like that probably could rise up the ranks. And then CJ Verdell out of Oregon. So let's go ahead, let's dip into the top 10 here. We're gonna start with Trey Sermon out of, well, I was gonna say Oklahoma, but that ain't the case anymore. Ohio State. He transferred last year. He saw his role get kind of limited because of, what was it, Kennedy Brooks, and he also dealt with a lot of injuries before deciding to actually transfer. But if you go back to like the 2018 season, even glimpses of last year, he was among the best when forcing tacklers to miss. I really like, he's got a very physical style, but he kind of lacks, in my opinion, the home run threat. Maybe a transfer to Ohio State might be the best for him, because I mean, let's be honest, the Buckeyes, they produce NFL running backs. So I think that gives them the most likelihood to get drafted maybe in that day 2 area. I kind of liken this guy to at least his style of running to Marshawn Lynch. Demetric Bolton out of UCLA was a guy I was high on last year. I really liked his ability to be used in the passing game, and now that Josh Kelly is gone, I expect him to get full-time starter reps. He's, again, stellar route runner. He's really good after the catch. Actually averaged 10 yards after the catch. Very, very, very good in the pass game. The reason I liked him a lot last year. Also, he's got some serious return skills as well. Max Borghi, hopefully I said that last name right, out of Washington State. A lot of guys try to compare him to Christian McCaffrey. Not all white running backs are the same. Geez, stereotyping out here. But he is kind of similar. The guy can turn on a dime. He's a very good route runner. He had 28 broken tackles on receptions last year. Thing is, though, never played in a pro style offense. I don't think that's so much. I don't think that's going to hurt him as much. You could still see the athletic ability, but he was only in Mike Leach's air raid system there. And was it Rolovich, the former Hawaii quarterback? He does the run and shoot. So I don't know. Some teams may not like that. I'm kind of cool with whatever. I'm very comfortable with him as a prospect. Then I got Puka Williams Jr. out of Kansas. Probably the biggest thing for him is size. You kind of worry about that, but you gotta like what you've seen. The guy, he broke a tackle every 0.37 carry, which is kind of ridiculous, because if you want to like him to probably the best guy when it comes to breaking tackles, Travis Etienne, he did it at 0.35. So very elusive. The dude's flat out fast. Probably the best receiving back in this class. His drop rate was at 1.6, which is ludicrous and like good, very good. And he had 24 broken tackles on receptions last year. Then we got Jarrett Patterson out of Buffalo. This guy I'm kind of mixed about, because I think out of probably these guys, he might have the safest, he might have the highest floor, but I don't think there's too much of a ceiling on him when I watch him. The guy, he's very slippery. He can be a big play threat. He kind of shrugs off contact, kind of like you see with Chuba Hubbard. The guy, he was 961 yards after contact, but he lacks explosion. He lacks breakaway speed, and I kind of liken him to, like, my comp in terms of ability, not size, would be TJ Yeldon. I think he's really good at much, but he's a master of none type of prospect. That's just my opinion on him. Just saying. On to the top 5. Let's get into it. Lynn J. Dixon out of Clemson. 2 Clemson backs. I'm just saying, Clemson got a very talented squad there, and I really, really like him. It's a real shame that he's stuck behind Travis Etienne. I mean, a lot of people were expecting this guy to potentially transfer because Etienne decided to return, but that's not the case. The guy, he's got game-breaking ability and speed. He had 7.1 yards a carry that for his career, but this is based on a small, limited sample size, because he's played that backup role. But last year his reps were increased tremendously in the pass game, both as a receiver and a pass blocker. He's not the best pass blocker. He's more like, you would probably say he's a willing pass blocker, but that's something he's getting better at, something that coaching staff is very comfortable with in him doing. So I like that. I like to see him thrown to more, him used more as a receiver, because I think, like I said, the guy's got game breaking ability. Then I got Kenneth Gainwell out of Memphis. This guy, low key, I think he can definitely get into the mix with the what everyone considers the top 3 in this class. He is explosive both as a receiver and as a runner. The guy had 37 plays of 15 plus yards last year. Ridiculous speed. I think to get to that, he needs to hit that 200-pound mark to kind of put himself into the category, or I guess into the tier of the other guys. But for me, this guy is a dark horse. This guy is someone we might be talking about in that early to mid second round type tier. And then I got Chuba Bubba Hubbard. I love that. Oklahoma State. The guy's a churner, doesn't go down after contact, like I mentioned earlier. He had over 1,300 yards after contact, which was more than what most running backs had altogether. The guy's really good. He's nice. He's got nice agility. He's got pretty good burst. For me, I think he might lack, I don't want to say breakaway speed, but like downfield speed. I don't think he could really pull away. I mean, I think it's easier to do that in college than it is in the NFL. That's just, I don't want to say that at this point it's nitpicking. It's trying to find, okay, where he might struggle at the next level. Overall, he's a great prospect, but it is important to know he was rarely ever used as a receiver in 2019. He did have a significant amount of receptions in 2018 though, so he does have the ability. I just want to see him used more recently in that aspect. And then we got Najee Harris, and you might notice first round grades on these guys. I'm not saying they're like top 10, because it's kind of hard for running back to be in the top 10 nowadays, but I think they are definitely in that late first round, their first round worthy type of backs. even more so than just luxury pick for a team. I really like what these guys do both in the run and the pass game. Let's start with Najee. The dude's a monster with the ball in his hands. He had gains of 10 plus yards on 22.7% of his carries. Ridiculous. He was incredible as a receiver as well. 11 broken tackles after the catch, 7 touchdowns, 5 of which in the red zone. And that was the big thing for me. I didn't think he was much of a receiver going into the year, and just flat out crushed it. I was wrong about that. The dude is really good, great explosion, hard-nosed runner. I like me some Najee Harris. And then Travis Etienne, I love him. He's a guy I've talked about for quite some time now. Really, really good. We talked about how good he is at forcing tacklers to miss or just kind of shrugging off contact. He averaged 4.7 yards per attempt after contact. Ridiculous. He improved dramatically as a receiver in 2019. Just look into the playoffs. The dude was like unstoppable with the ball in his hands. He's a home run there anytime he touches the ball. Scary acceleration, scary speed. There's nothing not to like about Travis Etienne. He would have been my top back if he came out this past draft class. You could say the same about Najee Harris. He's right up there too. I like both these guys. It's a very interesting running back class. But that's it for the video. Go ahead to the YouTube thing. That's always much appreciated, much obliged. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.